most of my fights with my boyfriend is literally just boundary issues. It's like I don't want to have sex, but he wants to have sex. Men, they just think like, oh my god, I'm horny, I want to have sex right now. And once they're horny, they really cannot feel anything, and their body just becomes like a total animal. And it's up to us women to smack the shit out of their head and bring consciousness back to them and be like, hey, look, we are human, we can talk. If you can control your horniness a little bit, then you will look like a gentleman. Okay, because you want a gentleman to treat you. You don't want to go back and just be like, say yes to the monkey. Because if you say yes to the monkey, then where is your value? Where is your worth? Huh? How is the monkey going to learn if you keep giving the banana to it? The monkey has to wait. Tell the monkey to wait. How many times have you said yes when you really wanted to say no? How many times have you let other people take your yes instead of saying no to them? I am so angry at the amount of times that I have said yes when I actually don't want to. And that is only because I am afraid of losing people in my life. I'm afraid that they will not like me. I'm afraid that I will not be good enough if I say no. But let me tell you something. Okay? If you say no, and they don't want you in your life, then they don't deserve you at your real yes. Okay? Hi guys, I'm Annie. Welcome to my channel, and today I just want to talk about all the bad times in my life that has happened because I didn't have boundaries and I didn't know what my yes or no is. This just happened naturally as a child. I grew up and I never had the choice to say yes or no to what I want. I was always given no choice at all of what I want to do, of what I want to learn. And so I always picked the choice that my parents would say, yes, that's the best choice, because as a child, I wanted to please my parents so much because that was the only way I felt love. For me, love has been very conditional. And it is sad, it's sad, but that's how I learned to grow up. And most importantly, I have also learned that not knowing my yes and no definitely destroys my own identity, and I've keep attracting people who only wants to stay close to me because I only say yes to them. And recently, I had to say goodbye to one of my best friends because I no longer really agree with what she wants the world to look like and how she is asking me to do things. And I keep saying yes to her, and at the end of the day, I become irritated, I become angry, and I start blaming her when actually the real person who's at fault is me, because I wouldn't say no. Like, she would ask me to do some small things like, can you go and ask this person to do this? And in my heart, I'm like, I don't think we should even ask, and I did tell her, like, look, I think they did this because of something very intentional. We should probably look at their real intention instead of questioning them. And she was like, no, you need to go and ask right now. And I said, okay, fine. See, and then at the end of the day, I was really hating myself and I was really hating her. And that's what not having any boundary looks like. You end up hating all your relationships around you. It's difficult. I'm not saying that you can become a master of saying no right away, but at least you can start small, maybe say 1 no out of 10. And to think of all the times that I have said yes to the things that I really mean no are the worst time of my life. And when we say we need to have boundaries with other people, what actually means is we need to have boundaries with ourselves. I couldn't get out of a toxic relationship that I was in for 4 years because I had no boundaries with myself. And that came out in cheating. I was cheating a lot. And I was intentionally cheating, unintentionally cheating, and going on and very messy. I had absolutely no line, and I thought that if I cheated, I could get out of the relationship, but no, I still couldn't. And that's because I couldn't say no to myself, that no, I will not be in this relationship anymore no, I will not accept this treatment from this guy anymore. And because I couldn't say no to myself not walking out away from the relationship, I couldn't say no to myself not jumping into a fling or a flare as well. So all of my relationships in life were really messed up. And you know what? My biggest fear of not being able to say no is that I was scared that if I have left this person, if I had really said no and I left, I wouldn't be able to find something better. And that's not true. I want you to know today that if you know what is bad for you and you start saying no, it will only lead you to something that is better for you, that deserves your vibration. Before, I was using my brain to justify what to say yes and what to say no, basically making a choice, because I'm a very indecisive person, But now I realize that using my brain to choose never really made sense, because when I was in that relationship, I was telling myself that, look, you've been dating this guy for 4 years. If you leave him, you will probably encounter the same relationship problems. So you better fix these problems right now, or you'll just end up as having a failed relationship. And this is the logical mind trying to keep you in that bullshit position. Don't believe your mind. Let me tell you that less than 20% of the population are supposed to make decisions based on their mind, their logical mind. Majority, more than 50% of the population are supposed to make decisions based on their emotions. And when I start making decisions based on my emotions, my life immediately changed like this. Because that's my truth. And I'm listening to my truth. I don't know what your truth are, okay? Some people, it's the gut. Some people feel it in their gut. Some people feel it in their spine, like their body will just tell them yes, no. For me, it's just listening to how I feel. And sometimes how I feel is like up and down. It goes in waves, but I have to wait. I have to wait and see, and that's the process of being patient with myself. When I do that, I started honoring my emotions, my truth, and then I started making better decisions instantly. But it's not normal. I wasn't taught to do this. And when I started doing this, my parents were like, this is bullshit. Like, how can you make decisions based on how you feel? That's also boundaries. That's also me saying yes to myself. If you don't start saying yes to yourself, then who's gonna start saying yes to you? Who? Tell me one person right now. We cannot wait for other people to be like, oh, Annie, do you want this? Do you want that? No. We gotta be the person who tells them, I want this, I want that. And the sooner you do that, the better. The better you will attract the things that are meant for you, baby. So I want you to imagine this person that you have so much trouble saying no to. Sometimes for me, it's still my boyfriend. Just imagine their face, okay? And when they do something or when they ask you to do something for them, and you really don't feel like doing that, just imagine a door in front of their face and imagine shutting the door right in front of their face. And if they still talk too much, you might need to shut the door many, many times, because some people, one no isn't enough. I recently had to do this. If you want to work on this, just recognize this. The most difficult person to say no to is the person that you are so afraid to lose in your life. But just remember, if they cannot take your no and they can afford to lose you in their life, then why the hell do they deserve you in the first place? Huh? Why? This happened a lot in my past relationships with friends, is that when I start saying no, they start judging me immediately. Maybe sometimes losing them doesn't mean they will walk away. Losing them means that they will judge you. But the fuck? Who cares? Who cares? Because why would you sacrifice who you are for someone who doesn't even see you for who you are? Why? Why would you do that? Stop betraying yourself. I cannot believe that you are still betraying yourself when I'm making 24 episodes of podcasts on mental health. Just tell me why. Tell me why, and tell me what kind of conditionings have we been brought up to say yes to the people who don't even care about the best things for us.